Hello, Michael. This is Matt giving you a video tutorial of the North Fork of the Burnt BRAT output and what has changed. Sorry, in between the workshop that Wally and Joe has gone on and spoken to those managers there, and so there's been some changes that have been made to BRAT output, and these are as follows so that you can adequately see how many new maps you need to make and what you would need to do for the report that is going to be due the end of December. We're well on our way and making those changes, and it should be good. We are making progress, so thank you for all the help. Here are the following changes that have been made. So I'm just going to throw up the full network. Full network right here. First change that has been made is this Dry Creek stream segment right here that the mouse is on. In the previous run, this was included as part of the perennial network, and upon visitation out in the field and speaking with managers, Wally and Joe have instructed me to exclude this reach or this creek from the perennial network. So that's going to be a difference between the old perennial network that was used for the workshop in October and this perennial network that will be used for the report. Second thing was drainage area thresholds. They went out into the field and determined that there wasn't any limiting threshold for this particular watershed for beavers to construct their dams on, and therefore I just maxed it out so that it wouldn't include any of the stream segments for drainage area in this network. So that means that capacity is going to change for historic and existing. In addition, there has been some major changes and modifications done to see the existing and historic vegetation suitability. I'm going to just take a drink right here, just pause the video. All right, we're back. So there were some changes that in the veg codes, particularly with the sagebrush habitat with some pines and different things that they experienced out in the fields to make it more suitable to what they were actually seeing out in the field. So it was ground truth, which means that these capacity outputs will be even more different than the previous outputs and the maps that were constructed for the workshop. Now, on a side note, you did have a question about this UD field having a lot of dam building possible. This is pretty common to see this, and I don't want to exit out on this too much, but just to answer your question really fast, so we were looking at the UD field, and you can see that there's this, naturally vegetation limited, which is usually only in the reservoirs, because we can't necessarily, land fire can't estimate what vegetation was under there if the earliest date that they have there was a reservoir, so they have a hard time estimating that. Slope limited, we can see that in the headwaters that is seen. Stream power limited is usually with the drainage area threshold, which has been eliminated from this. Just has this little segment right here because of the drainage area really quick in there. It's kind of high. And in addition, anthropogenically limited will just be seen in those agriculture areas. So if you're working working on a watershed and you find that basically all the segments are this dam building possible, and you don't have any agriculture, seeing that you're still getting a little bit of slope, that's totally fine. That's to be expected. This is going to be the same as the old output, except for this segment right here, and I would assume that I don't think there's any other changes to this output. There's going to be a lot of changes to this particular output, management output, because of the changes that were implemented today to make the code correct. And those have been added on, and you're familiar with that. So shoot me with any questions that you have. Oh, I don't want to forget this. So the major change besides the vegetation was the roads layer. This roads layer is going to be dramatically different from the one before, and the difference is that this roads layer is a layer that was constructed using the Tiger data that for the areas outside of the Forest Service boundary, which the Forest Service boundary includes like here and a little bit up here. For those areas within the forest boundary was official Forest Service roads map, which holds information of whether it's an active, like if it's open and maintained, or if it's an inactive road and no longer used. And so it's a process to get that edited and looking decent, merging those two data sets. But that's a major change. So anything with roads or infrastructure related is going to be different as well. So shoot me any questions that you have. Sorry for the long video. Tried to condense it as much as I could. All right, talk to you later, man. Bye.